The Florida Joint Center for Citizenship presents Systems of Government. Today we're going to be looking at systems of government. Government systems focus on the rules of how government functions. So we're going to look at several different systems of government. After watching this video, you'll be able to recognize examples of different systems of government. Apply your understanding to several systems of government. Compare the organizational structures of systems of government, and explain the advantages of a federal system of government. How do the people of a country decide how to distribute power at different levels? That is a question that understanding systems of government will help us answer. Let's look at a system that is most familiar to us. A federal system of government, like the one we have in the United States, is where the power is shared between the central or national government and the states. In this system, both the states and the central government have a similar structure. Citizens elect members of the legislative, executive, and sometimes even the judicial branch. Another good example of a federal system of government is Argentina. This country has an elected president, national Congress, and even a Supreme Court. Argentina has provinces, or states, that have their own constitutional and legislative, executive, and judicial powers. The central government shares powers with those provinces, just as the United States' central government shares powers with the states. We'll discuss the advantage of a federal system a bit later. Let's check in. Try to answer the following question in your own words. In a federal system of government, how is power shared? In a federal system of government, like ours, power is shared between the central government and the states. Let's take a look at another system of government. A confederal system of government is where the power is focused at the state level. The first government of the United States, for example, was a confederal system under the Articles of Confederation. This means that government power was located with the states, and there was little to no power in the central government. Another good example of a confederal system of government is the European Union. It is a partnership among 27 countries in Europe. Everything that happens among those countries comes from treaties, which are formal agreements, agreed to by the members, and the member countries have most of the power. Confederal systems sometimes struggle to maintain unity because each of the member states often will do their own thing and be unable to reach agreement on certain important issues. Let's check in. Try to answer the following question in your own words. What makes up a confederal system of government, and where is the government power held? In a confederal system of government, all member states form the confederal government, and power is held with those states. There is little to no central power. Let's look at the last system of government here, a unitary system of government. A unitary system of government is where the national government conducts all the functions of government. A national government may choose to give powers to smaller government units, such as states. Some unitary governments hold power at the national level, while other unitary governments delegate authority to regional or state or even local governments, but almost all of the power is always in the hands of the central or national government. An example of a unitary system of democratic government is the country of Japan. It has a strong central government with the legislative branch, called the Diet, and the executive branch, led by the Prime Minister, and lower ministers. The 47 provinces, or states, of Japan rely heavily on the central government for money and support. While unitary governments often have strong unity, they may fail to protect against authoritarianism. Authoritarianism is when personal rights and freedoms are limited in favor of obedience to government authority. Because unitary governments have all of the power in the hands of the central government, it could potentially lead to the abuse of power, as the government may have few limits on what it can do. An example of this would be the People's Republic of China, which has a unitary government that is also a communist dictatorship. Let's check in. Try to answer the following questions in your own words. Who usually holds most of the power in a unitary system of government? And what is the relationship between the national government and the states in a unitary system. In a unitary system, the national government, holds the most power, and the relationship varies. In some unitary systems, the national government holds all the power all of the time, and in others, some power is delegated to smaller units like states, but the final power is held by the national or central government. Ultimately, a federal system of government, because it splits power at multiple levels, has an advantage over confederal and unitary systems of government in balancing local sovereignty with national unity and protecting against authoritarianism. It allows states and citizens to have a say in government, providing local sovereignty and freedoms, while also ensuring that the nation has a shared agenda. That is, national unity. We are one nation of we the people. So what have we learned here today? Well, let's go back to our question we started with. How do the people of a country decide how to distribute power? As we've seen, it comes down to the system of government they choose. A federal system shares power between the member states and the central government. A confederal system places almost all the power in the hands of the member states, leaving a weak central government. And a unitary system goes in the other direction, giving most of the power to the central government. Let's look at some scenarios. See if you can determine the system of government being described. Here's our first one. There is no central power of government. Instead, government power is held at the lower government unit level, such as a state. Which system of government is this? This is a confederal system, like we used to have in the United States, or that's in the European Union. Let's look at a second scenario. The power of government is shared between the central government and the states. Which system of government is this? This is a federal system of government, like we have under our U.S. Constitution. Our final scenario. The central government holds all the power. What kind of government is this? This is a unitary form of government, like we might find in Japan or in communist China. Well, that wraps up our video today. Thanks so much for joining us. Thanks for watching. This video is produced by Florida Joint Center for Citizenship at the Lou Frye Institute staff. Have a great day.